Welcome back to another episode of the Cardboard Podcast covering the Formula One card hobby. I'm your host, Bryan, Q3 Cards, joined as always with my good friend Scott from the P1Castle, getting
going
ready
on?
to be super duper busy.
It's a big week. It's a big week. I mean, it's a big week for the F1 hobby, which means it's a big week for me, which means it's a great week for everybody. Might be a little busy, but it's good. It's a good kind of busy, you know? That's what we like to see.
And the F1 movie premiere is happening as of us recording this in New York City.
That's right.
Most of the drivers are there, not the one you would expect not to be there, but
Maybe like half. I saw the picture. It's interesting, like who is there and who's not, right? But yeah, I don't know. Should be fun. It's cool. They had like 10 cars like lined up like a grid in New York City, and then the Apex Expensify car as well. Pretty cool.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it will be a more dramatized version of like Drive to Survive.
Yeah, I mean, it'll have good storytelling, I think, through the whole movie. I'm going in ready to embrace it. Listen, if you're going in as like an F1 expert and like, well, the DRS can't open if they're not within point was, like it's just not, that's not going to be for you. I think just try to sit back, enjoy it. There'll be some things that are really cool. The filming of the movie itself, like the types of cameras they used on the cars while they're driving, everything is amazing. So I think that part in of itself, like the wheel-to-wheel combat and all that stuff's gonna be awesome. There'll probably be some cringe lines like, "Oh, you never take that corner through," whatever. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna have a good time with it. You can get popcorn helmets, so all good things. Lots of press for F1. Who knows? I'm gonna go to my local. Listen, I've given away. I think we just gave away 300 or so packs to kids this weekend, past weekend at the Canadian Grand Prix. I'm going to bring probably a couple hundred of those when I go to the movies. I'm going to be passing them out, everyone in the movie theater. So if you're at the same movie theater as me, you're going to get a free pack of cards.
Another reason to go see it.
There you go.
I mean, Formula One's done a really great job recently just getting more mainstream out there. Lego, a blockbuster summer movie. There's so many more people that recognize it now. I went to go see my nephew's flag football game at a park down the road from us, and as I'm leaving with my son, we watched my nephew play, and some young adult, probably 16, 17, noticed I was wearing a McLaren shirt and McLaren hat. It's like, let's go McLaren. So it's working. Like
It's true.
It's definitely getting to a good spot.
I love those in-person interactions. I was actually at Chick-fil-A today picking up dinner for the family. I'm riding around and I was wearing the same thing, Red Bull cap with the McLaren shirt. And the kid that took my order, he's like, "Ooh, Red Bull McLaren. How do you work that one out?" I was like, "Oh, gotta love everybody. I love everybody." And he's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, it's pretty cool."
I just have this rule, Scott. I don't mix and match team gear.
I specifically do, because then I get that. I always get that question. "Oh, well, you've got that and that. How does that work?" And then next thing you know, I got a new follower.
That's what I got to do. I
There you go.
got to change up my my attire game here. All right, we have hopefully maybe a shorter episode this time out, but lots to cover. Canadian Grand Prix just happened as of yesterday. Some spicy on-track results that we'll talk as it relates to the Pick'em Challenge.
Right.
Later this week, maybe next week, we'll actually do our grid gainer and talk about some of that. But there's just so much news that we have to cover.
Big week.
Big week. Fanatics Fest this weekend. The Fanatics Collect custom F1 auction that we've been talking
Summer
about
auction, baby.
just went live.
Yeah,
And
as the time of recording, I think like 30 minutes ago, just went live. So
some big cads there. And we're going to end the show with my top 3 cards that just got graded, including a absolute monster I wanted to
Oh,
talk about it last time. It
oh, I know what we're talking about here.
popped this morning, and, definitely want to dig into that one very
That's
quickly.
the last one you're showing, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Love it.
Let's get into it. So we are gonna start with the Pick'em challenge, and again, with some very unpredictable results in God, I can't even talk tonight.
Canada.
Canada, I just made up a new country, in Montreal.
That's right. So it's right. We had the Canadian Grand Prix. We were there in attendance. We got to meet up with a ton of people. Shout out to Frankie's, to Coop, to Katie and Dom and everybody. We got to hang out with Rocky and Clay, Brandon, aka. But it was a lot of fun. Ripped some packs, gave away, like I said, about 200, 300 packs to kids and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. But we also had a really good strategic race. Listen, if you like strategic races, this one was for you. There was a lot of, oh man, how are things going to play out? People pitting at different times, trying undercuts, 2 stops, 3 stops. So a lot of different stuff going on. And then it all went crazy, right? When Lando goes into the back of Oscar, only takes himself out. Was quick to put the blame on himself. But we'll get into that. And like Brian said, we'll talk grid gainers next week because we do have an off week this weekend from racing. But I will say congratulations to another Brian.
A better Brian.
Spagoo Dagoo. Brian
Spagoo.
takes it home, right? Spagoo with a score of 44 points. Lewis Hamilton number match. So 44 points. That's a lower scoring. It was a lower scoring week because I tell you, a lot of people put 7, 8, 9, 10 on Lando.
Mhm.
So 44 points takes the win. The average was only 32.1. I think it's our second lowest scoring average overall. So yeah, big shout out to Brian picking up the $100 in break credit. We'll scroll it on over to the next one. We're going to take a look at how the community voted here. So again, 100% of people took Lando Norris over Nico Hulkenberg, and I don't blame you. But in the end, Lando doesn't quite get the DNF because he did finish, over 90% of the race. So he ends up classified, I think, 18th, but loses to Hulkenberg. Piastri, 87% of folks picked him over Hammy. He did get the dub. Max, another 100% here over Stroll. That was fine. Yuki Tsunoda against Alex Albon. So Alex Albon did have the DNF. Only 5% of people picked Yuki Tsunoda. He gets the dub. George Russell is another 100% to 0 over Alonso. He gets it. Kimi Antonelli, 79%, takes the dub over Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc. We had a lot of 100% this week, I will say. A lot of people everyone was all in. So they all chose Charles Leclerc over Franco Colapinto. That was money in the bank. Esteban Ocon only took 40% or 42% of the vote over Liam Lawson, but did take the victory. And then Oliver Behrman, only 19% of the votes for his win over Pierre Gasly. And the last one, oh man, this is brutal. Gabriel Bortoleto, 4% takes the dub over Isaac Hadjar. 96% of people picked Isaac Hadjar, but Bortoleto gets it done. So yeah, it was a really mixed up week. I think the big ones, obviously Lando losing, Albon losing, and Hadjar losing, I think were the three where people dropped a lot of points. Going to the leaderboard through race 10. And guys, this is the cumulative leaderboard. And through race 10 is the halfway point because it's the first 20 races where the cumulative score matters. So we're going to go down here rapid fire. In first, we got Adam Hareen. And coming up next, we got Fire and Ice Cards. Getting nerdy in here. G Myers Cards, Spyro Collects. Pitu, the Iceman F1. Max McDowell 6, Lando Card Rissian, Just an Incident Cards, F1 Ben, Dev Max Cards, Jameson, Olive, Nathan J. Hunter, Nico Tomicelli just holding on, and B. Cornell Cards for our top 16 right now. We do have another person who's actually tied there, but right now on Countback would lose. As far as driver standings, Max now sits alone at 9-1. We've got Lando at 8-2, Hadjar, Leclerc, Russell, and Piastri all 7-3. Albon and Tsunoda at 6-4. Signs, Hammy, Hulkenberg, not at an even 5-5. Lawson, Gasly, Ocon, Antonelli, Bortoletto, and Behrman, all 4-6. Janko, Kalapuan, again, Jack Doohan and Franco Colapinto put together are 2-8. And then Alonso and Stroll are both 1-9. And listen, the Aston Martin hasn't been great, but 1-9 from both of them. That is wild. So, I mean, again, strength of schedule, it hasn't been put in here. And at the end of the 20 races, every driver will have gone against every other driver once and then their teammate twice. So that will be the first 20. So yeah, really exciting stuff coming up. We'll obviously get the next one posted up for Austria in a couple weeks, as we've got a week off here. But yeah, exciting to see a little bit of chaos this past weekend in Canada. Changes up the pickups, we'd love to see it.
All right. As we said, Fanatics Fest New York City 2025 is this weekend, June 20th to the 22nd. The P1Castle, aka the P1Castles,
P1Castles, yes,
will be attending.
Oh yeah, we will be attending. We are going to be at booth 2519. Again, we're going to be there all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you're there, please come say hello. We're going to be doing kind of, community. I wouldn't necessarily call it a community event. It's not like a big thing, but we're really just going to get folks together, right? So we're going to pick like a restaurant bar kind of thing, for folks to just come hang out, on both Friday night and Saturday night. We know some people will be there Friday and Friday night, and that's it. And some people will be there Saturday and Saturday night, and that's it. So we figured, you know what? Let's just get together both nights. We're going to be at a certain spot. If you guys want to come hang out, then that's awesome. Yeah. So I'm so excited for this because, going to Canada, and I made a post about it on my Instagram, but it really, really drove home for me. And I was explaining it to my friend, who is with us, that this part of the business is just amazing. Honestly, meeting the community members, engaging with folks. Like, we spend so much time, behind the camera, here on the podcast, during the breaks, doing everything. And it's awesome. It's great spending time with you, whether it's in our Fanatics live streams on Instagram, coming soon on Whatnot, all that stuff is awesome. But in person is just so much fun. And Canada was a blast. I'm really, really looking forward to Fanatics Fest, to F1 Trade Night, the National. Just gets me excited. But then, yeah, as for the placement of our booth, we are actually, and we've teased this before, we're right next to the F1 activation. So the F1 activation's huge, and it's going to be right on the main aisle, right? So when you're walking down main aisle, F1 activation will be like right next to you. And then you just got to go down. There's like a big row, big gap. And it's going to be Santiago Sports, and then Hit Parade, and then us. So we're right there, right next to F1. So, I mean, listen, I definitely had a little bit of a say in kind of what's being presented there. And of course, my camera just decided to zoom out. Whatever. There you go. You can see everything behind me. But we made sure that F1 has some really fun stuff for everybody, has some really cool stuff that they're bringing to the activation. And we're going to be there. If you're looking to get some F1 cards, we have got you. So you can come there, hang out, do all the cool stuff with F1, and then come say hi. Come buy some cards. Maybe we'll buy some of your cards. You never know. We spent quite a bit of money last year picking up cards. So yeah, should be a lot of fun. Please come say hello. I'm really looking forward to meeting a ton of people and seeing people again, because we saw a lot of people last year, and we've met tons of people from the community over the past few years. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Like I said last time, I'm really bummed I won't be able to be there, but it's going to be awesome, like you said. And I'll echo the interaction thing. I'm actually really looking forward to national as well, putting a face to a lot of the names. For me, I get my interaction when I get to talk shop when grading results and stuff are coming in, and that's the best part of what I get to do, is deliver all the good news. We'll talk about some of that a little bit later on.
Love it. I got the nice zoomed out look here, so you can see these banners. By the way, they'll be there at Fanatics Fest. Be a lot of fun, and maybe some cases you see over there. Maybe we'll bring some cards to rip. You never know. I
So,
do
you're
have
zoomed out, usually my
sure.
camera shuts off, so there's not an episode without a
Yeah.
little bit of, technical difficulties
Of
here.
course, of course. I will say, and I'm gonna tease it here, I'm not gonna give it away. If you were there on Friday, there will be a huge treat, surprise, a lot of fun at our booth on Friday. So if you are there on Friday, you gotta come over to our booth. We'll get a specific time for when it's all going down, but it's gonna be pretty intense. It's gonna be pretty intense. Really looking forward to it. Big, 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 big.
Awesome. Love to see it.
Little teaser.
All right, another little teaser, and we talked about at the opening of the
That's
episode.
right.
The
Speaking of teasers.
custom F1 auction is now live June 16th through June 27th at Fanatics Collect from P1Castle Premium Consignment.
Yeah, so obviously we talked about this for a little while. This is the second iteration, so to speak. We ran one earlier in March of this year. So it was the spring auction. Now it's the summer auction. We'll probably have one in the fall. I don't know if we'll do winter, maybe. Maybe it'll be like a quarterly thing. Who knows? Let's see how it goes. But guys, some massive cards. I'm so excited. We'll go through a few of them here. We'll just touch on them, briefly. But yeah, June 16th, right now, today, at when you're listening to this, it's actually gonna have started last night. But it goes until next Friday, right? So next Friday, June 27th, is when it ends. It'll be right leading up to the Austrian Grand Prix. So I'm really excited. There's a ton of big cards. There's also some more, budget friendly options for folks. For instance, we have a PSA 10 refractor portrait, all 20 of them, and they're single card auctions. So if you are trying to put together that set and you're looking for, the Lance Stroll or the Daniel Kvyat, you could probably pick that up relatively cheap. We've got other cheap things like track tag PSA 10s and stuff, but there are some monster cards. I did want to showcase a few of them just briefly here for you folks. I've also posted a lot of these on Instagram at this point already. So you've seen some of them. We're going to be making some more posts and reels, etc., kind of throughout the whole entirety of the auction. So we'll be highlighting some of the cards, but we can go through some of them now. Like I said, I'll go through them pretty quick. But so first up here, we have a 2006 Futera Grand Prix Michael Schumacher proof patch. This is awesome. I mean, you just don't see these. You do not see these cards coming for auction. This is something that a Schumacher fan is going to absolutely love. So really cool to include something like that. We've also got a 2020 Superfractor 70th PSA 10 Lewis Hamilton, and this is his award winners for the fastest lap in 2020. Really cool to see a 2020 Superfractor in the auction, especially a PSA 10. And then we've got a Kimi Antonelli, one of our biggest Kimi cards, one of our only Kimi cards. We only have a couple, but this is definitely one of the biggest. 2024 Topps Chrome autograph gold PSA 10. And I believe this may
Graded
have been graded in the castle.
graded in the castle.
That's right. Graded in the castle. Love to see it. PSA 10 for Kimi. Up next, we have a Lando Norris 2020 Dynasty glove patch. PSA 1010.
Ooh.
Top one. This card is absolutely insane. I love these glove patches too, because it's like, you can see like the tread, the sticky part of the glove and everything. So that's really cool to see a 1010. You don't see a lot of 1010 2020 Dynasty cards. So Lando on the rookie, big. Speaking of another rookie, we got an Oscar Piastri 2023 Topps Chrome Futero orange color match PSA 9 on the Oscar Piastri. Again, we didn't want to include many 2021 through 2023 cards. We figured Oscar Piastri is an exception to that rule. So we do have some Oscar stuff, especially rookie stuff in the auction. Up next, and now we're getting to some of the monster cards. This actually may be the biggest card in the auction. I think this card may be the biggest and may sell for the most. This is a 2020 Dynasty Max Verstappen out of 5 triple patch PSA 10. And it's got a nice auto. This is a beautiful card. I mean, this is a grail. This is an absolute grail. So yeah, massive card. Really excited to see who picks that one up. Up next, we've got, how about a Lewis Hamilton 2020 Sapphire Aqua Portrait PSA 10. Color match PSA 10 2020 Hammy portrait. That's a grail as well. I mean, there's so many grails upon grails in this auction. Up next, also graded in the castle. And this is a little foreshadowing, by the way, for what you're going to talk about later. But we've got a 2024 Sapphire Helmet Collection Oscar Piastri red PSA 10. I mean, outside of the pad helmet collection Oscar, this is the biggest, like non-auto. This is the biggest Sapphire you can possibly get outside of the pad. It's a red PSA 10.
I think the pad graded an 8, right?
It did grade an 8. Yep. Didn't go through the castle.
Didn't go through the castle.
That's right. Up next, I think we just got this might be the last one actually.
2 more, I think.
Okay, but this is, I mean, oh my god. I'm looking at this card. It's insane. 2020 Topps Chrome Max Verstappen orange autograph PSA 7. Oh, man, I can't even believe you got a 7. Look how clean the front looks. You know, it's like the back of these cards just get real brutal, but like this card just looks so clean. Look at the front. It is a beautiful card. And of course, I love the orange Max Verstappen.
And the color match, yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, Orange Army, just amazing card. So some huge ones, and then finally, it wouldn't be a Fanatics Collect X P1Castle F1 auction without a Lewis Hamilton autograph, and we have got a 2020 silver autograph, number to 58, PSA 8. This is another beautiful card. The silver Hamilton autos really pop. So yeah, super excited for this auction. And again, you can go bid on all these cards right now. You can be the winning bidder, or you can be the leading bidder at like $10 right now. And you go on there, you can say, hey, I was the leading bidder at one point in time. But yeah, go over there, check it out. There's only, listen, we specifically made it only 96 cards. That's only 4 pages. So if you go to the link that's in our bio, and I'll shoot it over to you, Brian, so you can put it in the show notes here. But the link that's in our bio, and I attached it to every story I shared, you can go to that auction, and it's just 4 pages, guys. 96, we picked that number specifically, so it is exactly 4 pages worth of cards. There's 24 cards on each page. So it's not, the last one we had 208 cards, it went on to 9 pages. It was just a ton to look through, to get to, lots of, different cards, duplicates and stuff. So we really honed it down, 4 pages, scroll through, see what you like, and go home with the next grail. But yeah, really excited for it.
Monster cards.
That's right.
All right. Like you said, we will have the link in the show notes down below here
I'll send that over to you
link
right now.
Actually, one thing I have started to do, let us know in the comments down below. I've been trying to add the timestamps to the different segments we've been doing for the podcast. So if you want to just skip ahead, or if you want to rewatch and just rewatch a segment, hopefully that's working out. I think it actually works in the podcast show notes too, for the audio only version. We're making micro advancements here on the podcast.
I love it. All right, I'm sending this over to you right now too, Brian.
All right, so we will have that in there. All right, let's talk grading. I grabbed
speaking of some big cards.
So I just pulled a lot of cards just popped today. PSA has broken the dam. They're starting to unleash all the cards that have been bottled up for months. I think some of these, gosh, I think at least 2 of these PSAs had since like early April, like April 7th. And actually the last one we'll talk about was an express card. But it got upcharged even further. and PSA was probably like 3 days overdue getting even an express done. So, hopefully things get better. I think it's not even it's certainly not F1 related. I feel like when,
Pokemon.
like, the monster Pokemon sets drop, that's what everybody sends their stuff in,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's what causes the
People are grading base energy, and then it's all over.
yeah, that's people. It's a lot of money to grade a card, especially if you I mean, maybe not as much as if you prep it yourself, but if you use a prepping service, send the right cards.
It's true.
We'll help you filter them out, but all right, so up first, we have
Ooh.
a Lewis Hamilton Sapphire Gold helmet collection. Actually, all these are gonna be helmet collections.
Mm.
PSA 10. This is actually, Scott, only going to be a pop 2.
Wow.
These gold
Really? Oh my
these
god.
the Lewis Hamilton Gold Sapphire are rough on the back.
Jeez.
I think there's been maybe, I wanna say 19 other ones graded. I think there's like 11 nines and like 7 eights.
Jeez.
So, this is gonna be a big, this is gonna be a low pop card, and,
Huge.
it'll be huge. So, congratulations on that one. Up next, the black and white Sapphire helmet collections have been also rather tough. On screen, we've got an Oscar Piastri black and white out of 15, PSA 10.
He does it again.
I can't say we'll have graded the entire rainbow because we didn't do the pad, but I'm pretty sure we have gemmed the entire Oscar Piastri Sapphire rainbow at this point. Science the pad.
That's very impressive. What a collection that would be too, just spread across. Oh,
So I don't know. Shield your eyes, Scott. There are a lot of golden discs on the
too hot.
screen.
I had to get up. It was
Too
too
hot.
hot. Had to leave for a second.
Staying with Oscar Piastri.
Whew.
Topps Chrome. Helmet collection. Superfractor. 1 of 1. PSA 10.
Wow. Oh my god. So you have now graded the Max and the Oscars Superfractor helmet collections and got PSA 10s on both of them.
Correct.
That's crazy. Just wait until we get the Lewis remade, because then you're gonna gem that one too. Let's go.
I mean, arguably probably the top 3 in helmet
Would
collection.
be for sure. For sure. Absolutely. That's crazy. Wow, what a card, man.
It's
This
just
was, I tell you, not to stray from the grading portion of things, but dude, getting this card was a journey. Okay. I probably negotiated on this card for almost 2 months on getting this card. And then shout out to F1 Ben, who picked it up locally because this card was in Australia. And then I actually got it from him when I went out to Australia. So yeah, massive card. Not mine. But yeah, huge. I think it's already been posted at this point by
the
the
the owner
person who
the owner
owns it.
did post it. So this
Yeah.
this was for
Okay.
Jeff.
So it's Jeff. Come on. It's Jeff. We know. But yeah, absolutely insane. I mean, Brian, that is
And Jeff's great. I let him know. He's like, "Okay, cool." Or great. You know, he's just very
it's great.
reserved.
Yeah, that's great. He's like, sure.
Nice.
Oh, upcharge? Great. Cool. uh,
Yeah.
gotta
$1,000
love it.
upcharge. No big deal.
He goes, $1,000? Like, what is that? Like 107th of a Bitcoin or something?
Yeah. I
Crazy.
can't wait to get this actually back in hand, and obviously back to you, and obviously across the world to Jeff. But yeah,
There we go.
congratulations.
This could be a in-person handoff at trade night, maybe.
Probably would feel better about that.
Right?
At
I
least
think that'd
maybe
be a
a
cool one.
maybe at least a trek from New Hampshire to New York. I don't know if I want
Yeah,
to.
I mean,
This
I
got
don't
mailed.
know.
This got mailed once. I don't know if I want to mail it again now.
Yeah, I don't think we mail it, but I think because things are gonna be pretty busy between now and trade night. So yeah, that's also a cool one to deliver in hand. So or in person, I think. So yeah, love to see it.
Maybe a lot of people could see it at trade night.
That's right. We'll share it with the world, or the F1 community in Rosemont, Illinois.
Speaking of, I keep saying I have to book my ticket. Even my wife is trying to help me. She's like, I
We
started
got to
looking
get it
at your
done.
flights and stuff, and ugh, yeah. I'm just trying to come in just for trade night. I don't even
Yeah.
actually want to go to the national show
Uh,
itself.
Trade night's where it's at, baby. Let's go.
That's where all the F1's gonna be.
It's true.
All
Whew.
right, Scott, we are just approaching 31 minutes. Very short episode, packed with a lot of content, lots of stuff coming on.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff coming up here.
It's just coming at us. Boom, 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 boom. But it's a lot of fun. It'll be really cool to see the custom cards. I really hope we open, some of the foil fractors or the one of ones, the autos at Fanatics Fest. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to seeing everybody. And yeah, a lot going on. We don't have a race for a couple weeks, so we'll have to just immerse ourselves in cards in the meantime.
Sounds like a plan.
That's right. 2 bite-sized pods in a row. And again, this is probably gonna be the only one this week. But we'll try to give you a double dosage next week.
We will absolutely do that.
All right, everybody. Well, without further ado, make sure that you collect your cardboard and keep it carbon.